Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BBB Sharing. Today we've got a special guest. We've got Mr. Moody here. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How about yourself?
It's been a really good day. Tell me a little bit about you, your business, and, where you're from.
Sure. So I grew up here in Richmond, in the surrounding areas. Lived in Henrico for a bit, Hanover, and then moved down to Middlesex County in high school. Graduated high school down there. Went off to college. Graduated from Longwood University in 2005. Made my way back to Richmond. Started working in, relative to my degree in business management administration in retail. Went through that, did it for over 2 years. Did a lot of self-reflection about what I wanted my future to be. And from there, it was like, okay, hey, what do I want to do the rest of my life? What is going to give me purpose? What am I going to take away from what I do in my career path? And as a kid, I grew up doing construction with my dad and various other people, and they really tried hard to get me out of that and, make it very tough and challenging. But at the end of the day, the underlying lesson there was like, you get what you put in. There's value in your work with your hands. You can see what you have accomplished each day. That progress and fulfillment is what drove me back into construction when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and my career. I had a great opportunity with a commercial construction company with an entry-level position. I started working there, and I did commercial construction for over 5 years. Started off as an assistant superintendent and went through various different roles, finished with project management, and about 2010, 11, 12, when the economy was going down, I think everybody was impacted. My industry was impacted heavily, and I kind of waited in line to get laid off, to be honest. And so, after that, still stuck with commercial, stayed local, worked with a few other companies doing more project management stuff, relocation systems, furniture, and things of that nature. And the economy picked up and things started, looking on the up and up. I, again, had another self-reflection of like, okay, there's more opportunity now. What do I want to pursue? And after I started thinking about it and interviewing with local large companies, one of the biggest things that was a negative with what I was doing with the commercial was the travel. So I'd spend 5 or 6 days out of town out of a week. And, for a commercial with what I was doing, I was on site at 6, and sometimes I wouldn't leave till 6. First one there, open up the doors, get everybody going. If you're working in project phases, you have first and second shift almost. So a lot of long days, staying in hotels and stuff like that. And I was like, I really don't want to get back into that. So when I was interviewing around here, interviewing for working locally. So locally was Virginia Beach, Hampton, Charlottesville. And it's like, okay, so I got to be up at 4:30 to get down to the site at 6, and may leave at 6, and then I get home at 8. That really wasn't a trade-off I was looking for. So I started talking to some friends, and it was like, okay, how about residential? And so I started my career in residential at that time and started as an assistant project manager. It's like, man, I was a commercial project manager. Now I'm an assistant project manager. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. And so I took the opportunity and realized why they put me as an assistant. Residential and commercial are two different things. Commercial is very detail oriented. There's so much information in the plans, and there's so much planning ahead of time to get to the start for a commercial project. And then commercial projects are ran much differently. So I was going from projects where I'd have, 30 pages for a set of plans for a project, and I got into residential, and I would have like 6 pages and no answers on the pages. So, the core principles and the process and the steps from, start to finish, there was a lot of, common things there that I picked up. I just had to learn, kind of more of the residential side of production. You're handling multiple projects at one time in a neighborhood, sometimes with very little information. So it's very experience-based business, and I liked it. It's challenging as it was, and I've continued my career with residential construction for over a decade now. Started in production, then I went and worked for a custom builder for a number of years. Had a lot of great experience there. There's a huge difference between production and custom, not only from the project manager side, but from the customer side. So I did that for a number of years, then got an opportunity with another production company to come work for them to lead a production division. So I managed what would be called South. So I had a number of project managers working under me, and I was in charge of a couple communities. And my role was to manage, train, and ensure the success of each community, both, as a representative of the company, to coach the project managers, deal with clients, work with the developers, and things of that nature. And I enjoyed that. It was a good company. I worked there for a number of years, and got to a point where, again, as I aged, again, another point of self-reflection of like, okay, now you're here. What's direction do you want to go? Do I want to continue to pursue upper-level management within the local residential construction community, or do I want to step out on my own? So at that point, had an opportunity with a guy I've known for a really long time, going back to my college years. He works in a relative industry, and we've kind of mirrored each other in our career paths, but he's always been on the sales side, and I've been on the construction side. Mm-hmm. And so our partnership and knowledge and experience within this industry, it was a perfect mix for us to start a company. So we started this company over 4 years ago with the mindset of helping the community, helping real estate agents, and just doing what we do best, construction and customer service.
Nice. Wow. It sounds like your entire life was just surrounded by construction.
Pretty much.
Is there anything that you wanted to branch out and do but just didn't, or turned it into kind of like a side hustle or hobby?
So I've done or looked into things that have interested me. I've enjoyed sales, and I had a sales role at one point in my life, but I would later mature it into an understanding of what sales is really about just representing what you're selling, being confident in that. And I was in a hard sell environment. And so sales for me is completely different. I'd never go back to it. I don't consider it a side hustle. But some people say I'm a really good salesperson for my company, but I don't really see it that way. I'm just, if people come to us looking for something, they're looking for a solution. We have the knowledge and experience to do that. But outside of that, one thing that I did when I was in college, I worked at a restaurant, and I worked there all 4 years while I was in Longwood. And when I left, they offered me a management position, or when I graduated, they offered me a management position. I was like, I got to get out of here. And so
stressful.
It's stressful, but it wasn't. It wasn't where I saw myself career wise. Mm-hmm. The restaurant industry is great. I still enjoy dining out, but that's a lifestyle with that career, and I didn't want to adopt that lifestyle. It's taxing in late, odd hours. You're out servicing folks when they have their time off. Yeah. And I have a lot of respect for the people that do it. It just wasn't the path that I wanted to go down, but I learned a lot. And to circle back to your question, that's my hobby. I love to cook. That's calming for me. I enjoy it. My dad cooked when I grew up. He taught me a lot of the basics. Really learned a lot more refined skills working at the restaurant under different chefs and stuff. And I cook to this day. I cook, I'd say 99% of the meals at my house. My wife enjoys it. She really appreciates it. It's a win-win. She doesn't have to cook. I enjoy it. It's calming for me.
There's a trance that you get into when you're cooking where it's like where everything is, the process, the timing, and it tastes good. It smells good.
Yeah, in the zone.
Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you. I love to cook. So I would say if there's anything out of your years of experience inside of just the construction industry, what would you give to people who are interested in delving into it and wanting to become, the positions where you are at?
Learn everything you can. Ask questions to those who know more than you do. Don't be, humble yourself to that. Understand that, you don't know everything. Don't be afraid to ask. Be curious. Ask, if you're working next to a plumber, ask him what he's doing. Ask him how he does that. What does that mean? How does that impact the scope of the project? Ask the electrician, ask the HVAC guy, ask the drywall guy, and just watch. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You'll learn a lot. And then, as you mature into that, you'll understand how each part and each step impacts the other, and then how it all comes together at the end. If you can understand all of that, it makes for a better experience and a lot more, you get a lot more from it.
Yeah, sure. And that could be said for pretty much everything. Anyone out there doing stuff, get down to the science of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll enjoy it a lot more.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Is there any last words that you wanted to tell everybody?
No, hey, don't. The one thing that we run into a lot, and this actually helped kind of give me the confidence to get into starting our own company. Contractors get a bad rep sometimes, and there's a lot of mistrust out there. So I'd say, when working with a contractor on a project at your home, your business, whatever it may be, ensure that you're able to communicate with them. You feel confident communicating with them. Ask a lot of questions. Do your homework on them, and clearly define the scope and ask, hey, what don't I know? People hire contractors or people in for specialties because they don't either have the time, the knowledge, or the experience to perform that task or, whatever it takes. So, as a contractor, I understand that people are contacting us because we're the professionals. But be confident in your decision and, ask a lot of questions. The better experiences that we have with our clients are those that are very curious. They want to know the how, the why, and the when. And, we love what we do within our company and our organization. So we love to talk about it.
Yeah.
So if you ask questions, we'll be more than happy to talk about it.
Of course. No, I agree. Yeah. And I mean, you're in the home of the place that vets all the applications and just makes sure that you have the license. So just check out bbb.org to make sure that you're dealing with a trustworthy contractor as well. And they have just all of their paperwork that they need.
Yep.
But thank you guys for joining us. Drive safe, everybody who's driving, everyone who's just cozy. Enjoy the rest of your day. You can follow us on all of our social media. And enjoy the rest of your day, guys. See you later.